Welcome to Seattle Refined, our TGIF edition. I'm Garrett Swanson. It's Friday, and that means we're going to get you ready for the weekend. And there's nothing bigger than what's going on over at the UW this Sunday. If you watch Refined this week, you know about Pack the House. We want to make sure every seat is filled at Heck Ed this Sunday at 5 p.m. as the 7th-ranked Husky women's basketball team takes on number 10-ranked conference rival Stanford. It's going to be a monster game. Now, this game is so big, it could be historic and potentially even be the largest crowd in program history. Again, tip-off goes at 5 o'clock. And the guy running the show, he's been over there for a few years doing a great job, Coach Mike Neighbors. And, man, your team, Coach, is on fire. And it's all about packing the house this Sunday, isn't it?
Well, thanks for y'all's efforts with this. It's been great. A team effort with people on campus and you guys reaching out and trying to get our kids, our seniors especially, a chance to play in front of a top 25 crowd for the first time in their careers.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to sound like maybe the biggest one ever.
So you got the big game on Sunday. It's Friday today, and you got a big one against Cal. Let's talk a little bit about them real quick. I mean, this is a dangerous club.
Maybe the most dangerous team in our league. A team that's been to the Final Four in the last 4 years. They know how to win. Very, very talented. Very, very explosive. A team that can potentially beat anybody in our conference, top to bottom.
So what's the deal with your team? You guys just keep getting better and better. Last year, you guys fly under the radar. You make the Final Four, and everyone's going, wow, Final Four. And now you could go to the Final Four easily, if not win the national championship. A lot of people are talking about that.
Well, we've got 4 great leaders. We've got 3 seniors and a 4th-year kid, 5th-year kid in Heather Corral. You get Katie Collier, Chantel Osar, Kelsey Plum, and Heather Corral. Kids that have been here since we started this thing, 5 years ago. And they've been here. They know what they're doing. They know why we do things. And they're just really passionate about leaving a legacy here that a lot of people can be proud of. You know,
we had your 3 seniors or 4 seniors on a little bit earlier this week. And there's something special about those 3 and those 4 ladies. I mean, in fact, the whole team. What is it that makes this team special? Not just your basketball. I mean, these ladies are friends off the court as well.
Yeah, they're great teammates first. That's the key to it all. They can really, really lead each other, and then as a result, the other kids follow along. There's a cool vibe. We've stopped trying to define it because none of us have ever been able to really do it. I don't know what it is, but it's just this feeling you get, kind of like the feeling you get around Seattle, that vibe that the city creates. We have that in our locker room, and we have that within our team. We stopped trying to define it. Just enjoy it while it lasts because not all teams have it. We know how lucky we are.
And it really seems like it's all kind of centered around Kelsey, and she's such a wonderful person that it just kind of exudes out that she's just a great person and a great player, and she's having another terrific season.
She certainly is. She's very magnetic. A lot of people are drawn to her, and then as a result, we've got other, Chantel's leads in her way, Katie leads in her way, Heather does her thing. So, Kelsey is the one that with the record approaching and being talked about a lot, has to bear a lot of the weight on her shoulders for being talked about. But she's such a good teammate. She's got 3 other people to lean on, and that group together has been very, very special.
And Kelsey really could get that record, the all-time record for a college female player.
Yeah, she won't want to watch this part and hear us talk about it. She hates the conversation about it, but it is legitimate. I mean, it's gone from possible to probable now. And she doesn't have to do anything other than what she's been doing since the day she stepped on campus. I don't know whether she'll get it or not. Either way, it's going to be a tremendous thing to have done under the circumstances that she's done it in raising our team's level of play. So I'll keep up with it. She's certainly not, but it's becoming probable.
All right, let's switch it up a little bit, talk about another senior. Again, one we had on our show this week, Chantel Osahor. I mean, what is the deal with she had 30 rebounds last Friday, a week ago, against the Cougars. I mean, you guys crushed Wazoo.
Well, she does it every day in practice and every day in every drill. She's very focused on getting rebounds. She knows that's a huge part of her role, and she doesn't want anybody to do it better than she's done it. She's tenacious with it. It's something that she's really, really focused on. She goes after everyone. And when you do that, a lot of times, as a result, some of them end up in your hand. I would tell you there's been games where she's had better rebounding nights, but the numbers haven't been there. There were a lot of missed shots to go around, and she got very, very active and got 24 defensive rebounds alone. And 30 is just video game numbers to me.
Have you ever seen an effort like that? I mean, she does it so easily and effortless, but have you ever seen a player get 30 rebounds and have so many rebounds so quickly in a game?
No. Never even close, not even watching games. And, you know, we've had Amina Williams, who is one of the leading rebounder in UW history at this point. And at Xavier, we had the #6 all-time leading rebounder, and I've never seen anybody go at it like Chantel does.
And you know what's funny about your team? I mean, you can talk about Chantel, and you can talk about Casey Plum scoring. If Kelsey has a great game and the rest of the team doesn't, most likely you're not going to win. I mean, this is really a team effort. I mean, it speaks volumes, doesn't it, for this club?
Well, they've seen that. You know, they know that for us to beat the top teams in the country, it can't just be one-dimensional. It's got to go 3 and 4. And then we've got other roles that have to be filled. And the nights when our stars in their roles play well, that's the night when we can do special things like we did last year in the NCAA tournament. I don't think we're peaking yet. I sure hope we're not. You don't want to be peaking this time of the year, but I do think we've further along than we were this time last year. But there's still a lot of basketball still to be played.
Well, you guys are 19-2. Your 2 losses against Notre Dame, ranked #1 at the time. That was a month or so ago. And then you lose on the floor by 3 at Oregon State, another ranked team that went to the Final Four. You only have 2 losses against 2 quality teams. And then hopefully you got Stanford. Well, hopefully you'll win. You'll beat Cal, and then you got Stanford. How about packing the house Sunday? That's big for you guys, isn't it?
It's so fun. The kids are starting to feel the buzz about it. You know, we're not looking past Cal by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, Stanford's always been the standard bearer for our conference. We go into their gym and you see 22 conference banners, and Coach Vandiver's about to get 1,000 wins. So, you know, they've been that standard bearer. So for the crowd to come out Sunday and a chance to play in front of a top 25, 10, or maybe even the all-time biggest crowd now with everybody's efforts, our kids are really excited. They're happy. They're proud of our city, and they're proud to represent. And they're really excited people are going to come out and support them.
Coach, you're doing some great things, man.
Thanks, Gar.
I love
Appreciate it, man. Oh, we're going up top. I like it.
That was weak.
That was weak. Wow. All right. I like it.
All right, Coach Mike Neighbors. Again, we love it. We want that big announcement to come that you guys have sold this baby out.
Let's
That's coming up a little bit this weekend. All right, don't go anywhere. We have a lot more coming up right after the break.
Wasn't.
Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Garth Swanson, and man, do we have a major announcement here on Refined. Next week, you're going to be able to watch Refined at a brand new time. Beginning on Monday, we'll be on at 3 o'clock, followed by a brand new edition of KOMO News, anchored by none other than my buddy here, Morgan Chesky. Morgan, nice to have you on board this afternoon.
Good to be here, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your show. Man, this is kind of exciting.
Right, yeah, 3:30. We wanted to have kind of an alternative to a lot of what our news products are, and we think that this is the perfect time to kind of bring an interactive show. There's so much cool stuff out there that we don't get a chance to share on normal newscasts, and so 3:30, what better time than Molly and I to kind of showcase it.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, you've been here less than a year, and already you're doing that. You're anchoring the 11. You've been kind of a golden boy around here. You've been doing great.
It's been a good year. It's been a good chance to come to Seattle and you know, meet some good people, and you know, KOMO's just a good place. And so yeah, it'll be 1 year in February. Hard to believe.
Yeah, you've covered some big stories here in less than a year. Of course, I know I watched some of your segments from Cuba, and
what a trip!
What an opportunity to go down there.
Yeah, you know, hard to believe it's been about 3 weeks since we got back from that, and you know, just having the opportunity to go on the first West Coast flight was amazing. We touched down there in Havana, and I didn't really know what to expect. You know, my family had been traveling since I was a kid, and they had always talked about Cuba as a place they'd wanted to go. And so you hear the stories in history class just over the years, but I couldn't have found the people nicer there.
Yeah.
And we were kind of concerned about what kind of environment we would be walking in with our camera equipment and our photographer. But the government really kind of gave us a wide berth. We weren't hassled by them. But it was certainly an interesting time to visit the country, though, as they're kind of reopening their doors to tourism, but at the same time, facing a lot of uncertainty as well.
And what does that mean now for an American? I want to go to Cuba. Do I just go down to Alaska Airlines and get a ticket and go, or how does that work?
Right, so you can definitely get a ticket from Alaska. They have the only West Coast flight right now, Seattle, LAX, Havana. But for Cuba, you're going to need to basically apply for one of about a dozen tourist reasons, or reasons to visit the country.
You have to have a reason to go?
Right, right. And all you have to do is fill out some paperwork. And so our reason for going was journalism. For a typical tourist, though, you would check off like a cultural exchange, which means you're visiting the country of Cuba to learn about the culture, which of course you can do through a variety of ways, not too hard to accomplish, but that way the government is kind of trying to limit how people come into the country, because the one thing they don't want to have happen is their country become flooded with tourists like we've seen kind of in a Cabo or a Cancun sort of thing. Yeah.
I can't wait to go. All right, I know you're a hard news guy.
Sure.
Did you have any time to do anything fun when you were down there in Cuba? Because I hear there's great stuff to do.
We were there about 2.5 days, and I think we probably had 1 hour where we were still shooting some footage. We ended up in this kind of cantina, and our photographer Mike Perry was shooting a band there playing just that classic Cuban music. And we did kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at, you know, one of their most famous cocktails, the mojito, something Ernest Hemingway was a big fan of as well.
All right, well, I would love to take a sip right now, but here, let's take a look at making a mojito in Cuba.
Now, Jordan says the secret to a good mojito starts with step 1, mixing the lime and the sugar just the right way. And when it comes to rum, there's only one choice, Havana Club Blanco.
Lo de limón, zumo de limón, la hierba buena, maceramos la hierba. Luego echamos hielo, completamos con 2 cubitos de hielo, luego cogemos el ron Habana blanco, 3 años. Luego cogemos agua gaseada, completamos. Luego cogemos la angostura, echamos 2-3 gotas de angostura, una ramita. Se le gusta, gracias.
Muchas gracias. You know, I'm typically not a rum guy, but after a day of walking around in the Cuban sun, a little sip does a buddy good. It was for research. It was investigative journalism.
You know, I like the rum that just came out forever, and then just a little splash of soda.
Now, everything there is so fresh. You know, that mint, he said they had picked a couple blocks over. And I think you'll kind of find that across Cuba there. You know, because they've kind of had to make do with what they have, they've become incredibly resourceful, incredibly creative, and the people are just so friendly.
Oh, I can't wait to go. I think so many people from here, from the Northwest, want to get going. So, real quick, we have about a minute. What do you do for fun?
Okay, so came to Seattle, had never been here until my interview, and so whenever I got settled, you know, I love Texas, where I'm originally from, but I mean, look around. This is why I love Seattle. One day last March, I woke up, I went skiing, bright and early at Snoqualmie, then I hitched a ride back into town, came in, went to work, and then that night, went over to Golden Gardens, and we had a campfire on the beach. What other city, mountains, beach, work, all in a day? I love it.
Not going to happen. You know, I grew up in California, went to school in San Diego. I actually snow skied and surfed in the same day, but I think you beat me. I think there's more cool stuff to do up here.
It's a beautiful place, man.
It is, and nice to have you on board, and you're busy. You came in today. You're a little bit earlier for work, right?
Right. We're still doing our final run-throughs for our 3:30 newscast today, and then 11 o'clock on every night, and then also doing the live desk at 6 Monday through Friday. So yeah,
you're a busy guy.
If you need news, just come ask.
All right. Hey, Morgan Chesky, thanks for joining us, my man.
It, yeah.
All right. Can't wait for your. Hopefully your show is going to do well, because if you do well, we do well. Just again, a recap. Set your DVR for Seattle Refined at 3 p.m. followed by Morgan and Como News at 3:30. It's an hour, and that's so Northwest, isn't it? You don't want to miss it. All right, coming up next on Refined, mingle with the Mariners. Find out where players new and old will be hanging out this weekend with FanFest. Welcome back to the Refined. Garth Swanson with you. I know we talked basketball, and I know we talked a little bit of Cuba, but this weekend is your opportunity to take the field over at Safeco Field. You can run the bases, play catch in the outfield, get autographs, and so much more. Of course, we're talking about Mariners Fan Fest, and joining us right now is Mandy Lincoln, and I know you've been a busy lady. You got baseball season coming up, so nice to have you on board today.
Thank you. Yeah, it's coming.
Here we go. So let's talk a little bit about Fan Fest. I mean, if you're a fan of the Mariners, there's no better day to come out than this weekend.
It is. We're essentially turning Safeco Field into a baseball playground. And like you said, running the bases, playing catch, hitting home runs, you know, everything that fans enjoy. I think what's that like to be a big leaguer when they're sitting there in the ballpark. They have that opportunity this weekend.
You know what was really funny? Rebecca Hale, who you work with over at the Mariners, she sent me a whole bunch of information on FanFest, and the first line is like, the 19th annual. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. I can't believe you guys have been doing this for 19 years.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So let's talk a little bit about the fun stuff. Run the bases, and what do you think that means to kids and their families when they can get on a field where the big leaguers play? Like right here, this video we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, you're experiencing Safeco Field like you never have before. There's a lot of access. You know, it's 6 levels of fun. So again, like I kind of said, this is people's chance to be a big leaguer, whether you're an adult, a kid. It's a fun time at the ballpark.
Yeah, and you got guys like, I think Edgar Martinez is supposed to be out there, Jay Buhner, and then you got a bunch of young rookies coming out and players on the team now on the roster. I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great lineup that's coming. You know, the fun thing about FanFest is, you know, fans can see some of their favorite Mariners from last season. We have James Paxton and Leonys Martin coming out. And then Jerry Dipoto, our general manager, has obviously been busy this offseason. So a lot of new faces coming out as well, including Gerard Dyson and Gene Segura. So it's good for the fans to be able to, you know, meet these guys, and at the same time, these new Mariners get their first taste of the Mariners fans, the ballpark. You
know, we had just a little bit of a snippet of that zip line out there. Did you do the zip line?
I did the first year. I was the test drive.
Oh my, you were the tester?
I was the test drive. So it's good.
Oh my gosh. And then anything brand new you guys are bringing out?
Fans are always, you know, excited about the Mariners commercials. They've been going for over 20 years now. So we've created a theater of sorts for fans to come in, watch those, and check out some props and wardrobe from some of the more memorable ones.
Oh, those commercials are hilarious. I think my favorite one was when the Moose was playing poker.
Yeah.
And then one of the old-time players said, hey, the Moose has his poker face on. Oh, my gosh, that one was great. Me too. But what an exciting time for the Mariners. And this really is a huge weekend for fans to come out.
Yeah, if you're a baseball fan, you know, this is the mecca of getting out there to the ballpark and enjoying it.
And you get into the ballpark at what time? What time does it start?
Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets are only $10, and better yet, free for kids 14 and under. Yeah, so Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday you can go there, and then you can head over to the women's basketball game against Stanford. All right. Yeah. Hey, this is Manny Lincoln of the Mariners. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, go Mariners. Big FanFest weekend. All right, we'll be right back right after this.
Why check?
Welcome back to Refined. It may be winter, but it's not too early to think about getting a new boat on the water. This weekend is the 70th annual Seattle Boat Show. It's the largest boat show on the West Coast. It's happening at CenturyLink Field Event Center and South Lake Union. And you can check out more than 1,000 boats on display. Also, women get in for free this Monday, January 30th. The boat show runs through February 4th. Hey, before we go, there's a really cool thing we saw this week that we just have to show you. The past 2 days, the actual Iron Throne from HBO's infamous Game of Thrones series was at the South Lake Union Amazon campus. That's right, the real prop from the show is there. And employees flocked to enjoy it by sitting on it and taking selfies with it.
I'll probably send it to my little sister because she'll get very jealous, and maybe send a snap to my husband. It looks a lot smaller than I thought it would, a lot shorter, but still super cool. And it looks very heavy. They're always surprising us at Amazon with cool new things, especially lots of activities with your dog, but this is like a totally new experience for us.
Yeah, that thing looks creepy. The Throne was here as part of a big promotion from Amazon's Channels, which is a subscription video service that includes HBO. Man, that's a big old throne, isn't it? Ooh, yeah, it is kind of creepy looking. Game of Thrones, the big throne. All right, there it is right there. Oh, man. I wish I would have went down there. Gosh, I don't even watch the show, but it looks so cool. All right, we're wrapping up this week on Friday, and as we end the show, here are some of our favorite photos and moments of the week. Have a great Friday and a weekend, everybody.